few days ago, I was scrolling YouTube when I came upon a video by Minecraft Beta, Yes Sightings, called Yes Sighting 1. What intrigued me was the description of the channel. Yes watches, yes listens, yes smells. Why did you leave? You were safe there. You shouldn't have left. You will regret leaving. So I pressed play. What at first seems like a normal beta video, when at the 2-minute 15-second mark this happens. But wait, let's not get ahead of ourselves. There's clearly something wrong here, but this is actually the 4th of 9 videos to be posted to the channel. I promise this will all be answered by the end of the video. To fully understand what is going on, let's go back to the first video on the channel titled Mining for Iron. The video starts with our player, from now on we'll call them Beta, entering into a beta style base. They leave the house and make their way to a mine. For now everything seems normal. They find a lava pit, and I just want to take a second to appreciate the old texture, as apparently this ARG takes place in Minecraft 1.8. But this update was released on September 14, 2011, so why is a video posted only 5 months ago using it? Also, in beta, there was no XP or hunger bar, and you couldn't crouch that low, or run, so obviously something is not right here. Then at around the 50-second mark this happens. Binary flashing up on the screen. When translated it says, yes watches. Beta enters a cave already lit up with torches. They look around confused, as if they weren't the one who placed them, when this happens. A flurry of blinks. Is this just a glitch? Or maybe, I put the blinks into a Morse code translator, and they spell this. Yes. There it is again. The word yes, just like the other video. So what is yes? Is it an entity, like the image from the channel? Let's finish the video. Beta mines down and falls into a black cave. At the end, there is a strange 2-block indent. But wait, did you catch that? When they turn around, just at the top of the cave, here, a pair of eyes. Is this yes, the entity watching Beta? Beta makes it to the end of this strange cave and finds 2 iron ore placed curiously. The rest of the video proceeds relatively normally. Beta makes their way out of the cave and the mine, pausing frequently to rearrange their inventory. The video ends with Beta descending back down into the mine and pausing, apparently hearing something. They quit the game. So this video definitely raises 2 important questions. Who or what is yes? Why is the game version messed up? I promise all these questions will be answered by the end of the video. Let's see if the second new video, Weird New Block, can shine some light on these questions. The video starts with Beta mining again. They return to the surface when they run into this. A netherite block. Something is definitely wrong here. Obviously Beta was way before netherite was introduced, so why is it here? Beta tries to mine the block. Did you catch it? Here, a black figure watches from a near hill. Beta is not alone. Is this yes? Or a different entity altogether? The figure stays watching Beta as they continue trying to mine the block. They give up and enter the house, and when they return the block and the shadowy figure are gone. The rest of the video is pretty normal. Although Beta is visibly shaken, they type in chat. Odd. With that, the video ends. Now we have even more questions. Why is there content from later editions in what is apparently Minecraft Beta? Who is that shadowy figure? What do they have to do with yes? And are they benevolent or evil? The third video in the series is titled New Ore. It starts with Beta, equipped with new iron tools, walking, when he notices something. A fully missing chunk. All the way down to the void. Is this just a glitch, or the work of someone malevolent? Beta returns home, apparently unfazed by the hole. He makes a bucket and fills it with water before returning to the missing chunk. They place the water before descending down. Then they mine diamonds. And tell me if you know what's wrong here. The achievement. This was only added in June 2017, so it would be impossible for it to be a version of Minecraft as old as Beta, so perhaps it's just a texture pack. Someone feeling nostalgic, but that wouldn't explain the confusion at seeing the netherite or the channel being called Minecraft Beta. Beta spots copper. Obviously unfamiliar with this block, which has no place in Beta Minecraft. They build over, obviously confused. When they mine the ore, it drops 3 blocks, then 4 again, and then 5. Obviously, this is not how copper ore works in Minecraft. This appears corrupted, different. The video ends with Beta smelting the copper into ingots, visibly confused. And again, right at the end, more blinks, more Morse code. I ran it through and I think it could mean taught or dead. I don't know which. Alright, onto the video that brought us here. Now we have context. Yes, Sighting 1 can actually provide us with a lot of answers. The video starts with Beta communicating using signs. Hello? I updated to the new Beta 1.8 update. They added running and other stuff. Anyways, I found a weird thing. Beta walks for a while before he spots it. It looks like a sideways smiley face. Is this yes? There it is. Beta hesitates before approaching it. Yes heads directly for Beta, and when it touches them, the audio glitches. Beta is teleported. Now they're inside a completely green room, lit with green torches. The audio changes. The music is reversed, and a distorted version of the soundtrack of Minecraft. Beta heads to a painting and discovers a secret room with a warden sensor at the end. In the background, we can faintly hear dirt being broken. Beta returns to the room and the video abruptly ends with a quick flash of the black figure again. So, what the hell? Now we have 3 characters, Beta, the black figure, and what I'm calling Yes. But that isn't it. This video is the first to have description. What at first appears like a bunch of jumbled letters is actually an encoded URL that leads to a now unavailable video. So, let's move on to video 5, titled Yes Sighting 2. This video starts with Beta in a completely different spot, new tools and weapons, maybe even a whole new world. Also, the character skin has changed. It's Alex now, so maybe this is a new character. They run along a beach before mining some coal in a cave. They descend, but it's a dead end, so they exit. They find another cave. They delve deeper and deeper. They find another dead end with water dripping from the ceiling. They continue mining coal. As they leave, there is a cobble block they didn't place. Then, they see it. A resin brick block. The player returns to the beach, and this time there is a tall pillar of sand above their base. They enter into the base, and this happens. The second encounter. But this time we see the player briefly receive the hunger effect before they are teleported again, back into a similar green room. This one is much larger. In the corner is the base from the first episode. The player goes behind a painting again, and this time there is a nether ore and a block of netherite. They try to mine it but give up. The player runs towards the house, a complete replica of the one from this old world. But it doesn't seem like they recognize it. Maybe this means they're a different character. Even with the same diamonds. They try to enter another painting, but this time all that is behind it is netherrack and crying obsidian. Again, the video ends with a flash of the dark figure. This video had another encoded URL in the description. It's encoded in base 64, which after a Caesar shift of 19 takes us to this URL. The video is called Inspection 2. The video starts with a player entering into the overworld with modern Minecraft kit. Netherite, fireworks, a book and quill, and golden apples and carrots. They also have a black skin, which makes me think we might be seeing from the perspective of the dark figure from previous episodes. Also, the netherite tools add to this suspicion. The player takes off using an elytra and opens the book title, Subject 1298A. The book reads, Subversion Beta 1.8.1, Ins version 1.21.7, Skin, Alex. Scene anomaly, true. Abducted, true. Inspector notes. I'm guessing the anomaly refers to Yes, and abduction being teleportation to the green realm. The inspector flies more until arriving at the base from the previous episode. We can tell by the pillar of sand. They enter Beta's base. You could even say they were inspecting, before flying to where the Alex skin stored the resin blocks. When they open their inventory, we can see the inspector has the same amount of copper ingots as Beta would have had. Did they steal from them? We also get a better glimpse at all the loot in their inventory. Perfect for spying on someone. The video ends with the inspector returning to the nether portal. They type in the book. Subject has gotten resin bricks. Nothing else noteworthy. They enter the portal and the video ends. The next video is called Dark Figure on Camera, and it shows a perspective not from a player, but almost like a security camera, placed in the top right of Beta's first base. We see the inspector enter, and open the chests. Maybe this is when they stole the copper. Before they seem to notice the camera, a glitching sound is heard, and the music from the green realm returns. The The inspector leaves before we can see another flash at the end as the audio glitches. This time I don't think it is Morse, just more of a glitch. The next video is called Where Am I? And opens with the player in a completely dark space with a green torch. They approach it. Where am I? We can see the ground is entirely obsidian. They open their inventory, and we can see that this is a Steve skin, not an Alex skin. So wait, does that mean that there are two players here? The first world being Beta, and the second world on the beach being someone else with an Alex skin. From now on we'll differentiate between them, calling the first Beta Steve and the other Beta Alex. Beta Steve notices a door. They open it to reveal a pure white room with a chest inside. They open the chest. A book and quill inside. The text is gibberish, but after putting it through a Caesar cipher it says, "I'm riding a pony into the sunset, everything green and gold, so I'm not in hell yet, and the people who work in my office went on vacation, because they say I haven't been paying them very much anymore." What does this mean? I'm not in hell yet? The people in my office went on vacation? This book talks at once like a child, but mentions having a job and employees, so who could it be? There might be a reason for this though. This actually comes from a song, Mount St. Helens is About to Blow Up, made 7 years ago by Bill Wurtz. But why reference it here? Beta Steve returns the book to the chest. They exit the door again before we hear this. It opens and closes. Beta Steve returns to the door and the video ends with this. We see into what looks like a jail cell, and on the corner is the words of the book repeated. What is going on here? Who wrote this book? Why is the inspector observing Beta Steve and Alex, and who are they on the side of? Yes, or them? Or someone else entirely? Before we go on, this video also has an encryption description, encrypted using XOR with key 0x20. When coded, it seems to say, "You had your day." Who is this talking to? Who wrote it? Let's see if the next video answers this. The next video is the third yes sighting, and begins with someone walking through what looks like a current version of Minecraft. So far, the only person we've seen yet with this version of Minecraft has been the inspector, so maybe this is their origin. They spot yes. They look for a bit before running. Digging down to escape it, they bury themselves in. The rest of the video is them hiding before quitting. We can see that they are in Minecraft 1.21.6 with fabric and 75 mods. This has been the only successful sighting of yes without an abduction, which makes me definitely think this is the inspector before they became the inspector. Furthermore, the description has another Caesar cipher message, which when decoded says, "Hey, I think of things to be seen from everyone. See all else. But is it? I've never believed anything people at my office told me, and they can see how silly I look sometimes. Who is? But in this song, nothing happens at Wormo World. And people at work. I make simple messages in random places about things. Answer letters to a friend, make pictures and put it in a drawer. A spreadsheet full of names, random letter gibberish about computers, and more code. You can see everything in your head. But should you be thinking? Exactly. Nothing else happens. Messages remain just fun, and are meaningless. Kind of a surreal message. Perhaps it means nothing at all. This is a conversation between two people. It looks like the same person from the song and the Bill Wurtz lyrics, but it doesn't seem to match any specific song. I also scoured the internet for this Wormo World and couldn't find anything, aside from a couple forums. Let me know in the comments what it might be referring to. Let's see if the final video has any answers. This time we are back with Beta Steve. They seem to be locked in the prison we saw in the earlier video. From the noises we can assume they are in the Nether. Beta Steve goes into F3, and we can see a sign on the cell that says subject 1297B. So this confirms that they are a different player from Beta Alex, who was 1298A. Through a door at the end of the hall we can see a Nether portal, and there is a cell located next to that of Beta Steve's. In fact, there are multiple. Through one we catch a glimpse of an Alex skin. This must be Beta Alex. Beta Steve tries to destroy their iron bars, but they keep being replaced. They can't escape. Hang on. Don't beds explode in the Nether? Beta Steve right-clicks the bed, and it explodes, revealing a back room filled with barrels and a redstone contraption. The room extends on behind the cells and is filled with huge stacks of barrels. In the hole above the cell we can see netherrack. On the wall of the hole is written section 12. And with that, the video ends. Again, below the video is an encoded message, which when decoded says something like, It had fun once more. It started very slow. This doesn't seem to be referencing anything in particular. So what the hell is happening? Now we have all the pieces, we just need to put them together. This series has 4 or 5 characters in total, depending if you count the Inspector as the same person from Encounter 3. The other characters are the Entity, the smiley face called Yes, and Beta Steve and Beta Alex, as well as anyone else who has been imprisoned by the organization. Now why they are kidnapped after touching the Entity, it doesn't transport them directly to a prison, so I'm guessing that this is where they are taken by the organization monitoring them, the one the Inspector is a part of. Apart from the cryptic messages referencing Bill Wurtz, we can assume this series is about an organization dedicated to measuring the effects of combining old and new Minecraft on players. When it happens, it seems the Yes entity appears. Perhaps it is time travel with new concepts showing up and shocking the players, the organization monitoring the effects. Mount St. Helens is about to blow up. The song by Bill Wurtz could be referencing the inevitable march of time. That is what Yes represents, the unstoppable march of time. As to why the players end up in prison, the organization could be seen as trying to protect the rest of the world from the knowledge of the inexorable march of time. The inspectors can be seen as an allegory for all the human pastimes referenced in the Wurtz song, like gift shops and jobs and the Dow Jones Index. Like the organization, these all present valid distraction from the march of time. But at the end of the day, time and destiny will catch up. This series is then a warning against the dangers of nostalgia, when trying to linger in the past by playing these old versions of Minecraft and pretending they're even in that time. The players are committing the same fallacy we commit every day when we ignore the present. But the present day, and Yes, always manages to blend back into the experience and catch up with the players. Perhaps this crime of living in the past, of trying to time travel into a happier, simpler time and ignoring the world as it is, that is why they end up imprisoned. Maybe what it had fun once more, it started very slow as referencing. Perhaps it is the player attempting to have fun in the past, but the past is gone forever, and so it doesn't work. And now, the channel description makes sense. Why did you leave? You were safe there. You shouldn't have left. You will regret leaving. Why did you leave the past? Because you had to. Despite the fact that you will regret it, there is nothing you can do, and you must accept that. This ARG serves as a warning to live in the present and to accept that with time comes changes. You had your day. Apart from that, it is hard to draw many concrete conclusions from this extremely cryptic ARG, but let me know your thoughts in the comments, and anything I might have missed. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe.